If you were a weird, unpopular kid, like I was there ever a time when you felt unconditionally accepted by your peers? I just recorded the entire video without sound. Why? I want to share an experience that I had when I was in middle school. It didn't really change anything in the real world, in school, or in my friend group, but it left an impression on me. And it made me believe that maybe things could get better. Maybe I could make more friends and be less made fun of. It gave me hope when I felt a little lost and a little weird. When I was in elementary school, parents would make sure that every classmate was invited to birthday parties. They never wanted any of the kids to feel left out, right? This is the generation that was mad at kids for feeling entitled, but then wanted to go and give every kid a participation trophy. It seemed even if their kid only wanted their friends there, the parents would insist that everybody in the class was invited. The way I see it, it was probably a good way to get more presents, right? But wouldn't that just make more work for the parents of the birthday kid? More snacks, more gift bags, more party favors. I don't know. I was never in the position to throw my daughter a birthday party with a bunch of kids. We always just did family gatherings. But at some point in middle school, I was the victim of the whole class invite. I wasn't sure I wanted to go, and I knew for a fact that half the kids probably didn't want me there, but I went. Fashionably late, of course. There was no way I was gonna get there early and be the one kid that was there with the birthday girl, awkwardly sitting in the kitchen while the parents tried to give us milk and cookies. Did that happen? In my mind, that was what was going to happen. I say that, but I'm not really sure how she felt about me. We weren't really friends in school. I just know I was the weird kid who tried really hard to make friends and be cool. I hadn't really gotten the hang of masking yet, so I guess you could say I was kind of cringe.
It's kind of cringe.
I look back at this party the same way that Ralphie looks back at his Christmas story. Magical. I've had a lot of time to reflect on this day, and I think I figured out why I loved it so much. Despite the whole class invite, I, along with every other kid that was there, was just accepted. The parents were nowhere to be found, probably hiding in a room somewhere, because let's face it, preteens are mean. So us kids had the run of the house, and the yard, and anywhere else we wanted to go, which turned out to just be the house and the yard. There was a Sega Genesis in her bedroom, and I played Sonic for a few minutes. But I honestly wanted to stay in there and continue playing Sonic. Partially because I didn't have a Sega, and partially because I wanted to be alone. But I really wanted to go against my instinct and interact with everybody. I felt like this might have been my chance to finally get in with the more popular kids. I'm not even sure if any of the real popular kids were there, but they were more popular than me. That's for sure. And that was enough. At some point, the girls decided we were having a fashion show. A few were chosen? A few were chosen to be judges, and a few were chosen to be judged. But this was no normal fashion show. We shoved clothes, socks, and underwear into our clothes to make our chests and our butts look gigantic. Then we would walk the catwalk, which was just the living room floor in front of the couch, and try to act as grown up as possible, shaking our big fake butts and shimmying our giant fake boobs. I don't know how that became the game, but we were all laughing so hard that I'm pretty sure we were shushed by the parents a few times. This activity helped me to get comfortable. It wasn't just me acting weird anymore, it was everyone. Later on, we decided on flashlight tag because it was getting dark outside. I didn't make any hiding decisions in the game, I just followed this girl around who seemed to have the ideal hiding spot, which was someone's car. I don't know why it was unlocked, and I want to say the car was in the neighbor's yard, so I don't even think it belonged to the birthday girl's family. I'm pretty sure we got in trouble for being in the car. After the game, we were told to come in and get ready for sleep. We rolled out our sleeping bags and proceeded to not sleep a wink. Some of the kids made the decision to go back outside in the middle of the night and play more flashlight tag. The parents heard the commotion outside and they got in trouble. Another girl and I giggled about it because we stayed in and pretended to be asleep the whole time. But the rest of the night, we all talked, and as the sun came up, I realized it was the first time I'd ever stayed awake, literally all night. Needless to say, after I went home, I fell straight asleep. A few years ago, I messaged the girl and thanked her for one of my favorite childhood memories. She agreed it was one of hers too. I don't think the event made me any more friends, and it definitely didn't make me any more popular, but it was the first time I can remember being completely accepted by my peers. Nothing mattered besides our silly games. And this leads me to the whole point of this topic. What if we could all just be accepted? How would the world be different? Let's put aside the things that absolutely should not be accepted. We're talking things that don't hurt anyone or cause any real world problems. I'm talking furries, trans people, LGBTQ plus people, adults who enjoy stuffed animals, people who make sports their whole identity, people who just want to play video games, people who like to party. What if we met someone and learned they really enjoyed bird photography, but we don't like birds or photography? What if we think people who take pictures of birds are wasting their time and boring? But what if we decided not to think that? Instead, we say, have you gotten any good pictures of birds lately? Someone who is cisgender and heterosexual meets a gay trans person. Instead of saying, ew, why can't you be straight? They could say, what are your hobbies? I don't know. I don't know if I just have a lot of empathy or if I just disliked being judged so much that I decided judging people for dumb things just doesn't make any sense. Or maybe I just like the fact that everybody just has their own little lives happening. It genuinely baffles me that someone can look at somebody else's hobbies and think, ew, that's not fun. Like, of course it's not fun for you. It's not your hobby. I don't like playing pickleball, but I'm not going to tell someone they're icky for playing it. I don't like cooking, but I enjoy watching Rosanna Pansino baking because she loves it so much. I don't like exercising, but I think it's great when people enjoy going to the gym. So, what would happen if we all just accepted each other? And also, why can't we? There are a few reasons why it's hard to accept somebody. It could be that you're afraid of their opinion, that somehow accepting their opinion might make yours less valid. Or maybe accepting them is hard because you can't accept yourself. You're just projecting your unacceptance for yourself onto someone else. Similarly, it could be some kind of jealousy. You're jealous that maybe they can express their opinions and feelings and you can't. Or at least you don't feel like you can. I was reading some articles about acceptance, and there is an aspect of this that I'm definitely guilty of. On Psychology Today, there was an article called Accept Them as They Are. The message was basically you can accept people for who they are, even if it's bad. Accepting someone doesn't mean you agree with them. It doesn't mean you can't still stand up to them or make requests of them. You can still do all of that even while fully accepting them for who they are. And maybe my fault lies with the word acceptance itself. I guess acceptance is such a positive sounding word. I can accept some MAGA doofus is a donkus. Does that count? I guess I can accept them for who they are because there's nothing else you can do. You can't fix someone like that. So it's hard for me to call what I'm doing with them acceptance because I definitely reject them. Accepting someone doesn't invalidate my opinions and feelings, but it feels like accepting someone whose opinions and feelings are so, for lack of a better term, batshit crazy means I've messed up in some way. I know I can't change someone's mind, usually. I've talked about this before. Changing someone's mind is pretty impossible because changing your mind is a hard thing to do. It goes against some kind of emotional instinct we have, right? But is accepting that I can't change someone the same as accepting them? Because I've come to terms with that. I know there's no changing a MAGA mind if they haven't changed it themselves already. So does that mean I accept them for who they are even though they want me dead? When we're open, accepting, and non-judgmental, it means we can have more friends, or at least more people will want to be around us. Having an open mind means learning a lot of new things about people. I know I've gotten to a much better place when it comes to acceptance, but I'm sure I have a way to go. Doesn't everyone? Tell me how you feel about this. What is your level of acceptance towards people? Is it something you're comfortable with? Do you want to be more open? And if so, what's stopping you? I've had a ton of great comments on my last video and the related shorts. Thank you so much for the conversations. I really enjoy learning more about people. Talk about acceptance. I also want to thank all of my new subscribers. Like, what the heck? As of right now, I almost have 450 subscribers. And my last video has over 3,000 views. What? When I rebranded and restarted this channel, I had like less than 200 subscribers. That was a few months ago. What's happening? I feel I had a video talking about how I want to be seen without being seen, and here I am just being seen, and it feels weird. Anyway, I'm blushing. Like, it's bonkers. Over 400 people willingly want to hear me yap about stuff. I'll continue yapping as long as I continue getting comments. Comments that start good conversations. I'll see you next week. Bye. Also, there were at least 5 people in my comments with Clippy as their profile picture. Should I be scared? Is Clippy coming after me? What's happening? Like, comment, subscribe, you like this video? No, I don't say that anymore.